Peace. I'm your humble brother Crumb, and today we're going to be talking about how the uterus is an alien with my good brother Keenan Booker, the God 720. Stay tuned.
Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with CrumbTV.
No, you are watching CrumbTV.
You can find me on CrumbTV.
You can catch me on CrumbTV.
This is Chief Kalanago here at CrumbTV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the CrumbTV studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
CrumbTV.
Absolutely, family. You are now officially watching CrumbTV. Thank you, everybody who is tuning in. Got some very bad news, lots and lots of very bad news before we get started. So with that said, family, this is the uterus is an alien. But first, I want to let you know I've officially been Farrakhaned on Facebook. So they removed my personal account, CrumbTV Snatcher or Crumb Snatcher. I think I had like 10,000 followers up there. Burn. But I felt like it was bound to come a series of unfortunate events where I just kept getting blocked. So a blind man could have seen this coming. So with that said, family, no more Facebook for me, no more Racebook for me. So that's number one. Number two, birthday party canceled. Oh my God, white Jesus. Yes, family, that is true. My birthday party in LA is canceled. Everybody who already bought tickets already knew that. A couple other people who I had given VIP to, I had to contact personally. So with that said, family, I want to just let the family know real quick. Now that my birthday has been canceled, and it is a very unfortunate thing, I have put together a little bit of a wish list just to let the family know that you can still help me celebrate if you choose to do so. So I'm just going to throw this out here real quick, and then we can get into how this uterus is an alien. I got some incredible information for you. Incredible. So really quickly, here is my wish list. Where is it at? Over here. I see it there. Oh, here it is. Okay, boom. So here's my wish list. I want to do a setup like this where I just kind of start going live off my phone with the little fancy DSLR camera setup, but for the phone. That's going to have this case. This joint is $140. I couldn't find anything else as close with all the other mounts and stuff. It might be a different price somewhere else, but I saw that for $140. That light that comes on it, I think this is even a small light, to be honest with you, but that's $40. It's not too bad. That mic is going to run a yard. That's $100. That's a good hundy. There's also a lens that comes on it. That's 119 or just 120 rounding up. I want this backdrop, family. I want this backdrop. This thing is going to be hell for transportation, but I want it. I don't care. So with that said, that joint is $200. I'm gonna have the little CrumbTV everywhere up there. I need a headquarters computer. I need this iMac, family. This joint is a stack. For those who don't know what a stack is, that's $1,000. So I want that for my birthday. I want these shoes. These joints is $125. I think somebody already got these for me. I got to be 100 with you. When I was in Chicago, I broke my tripod. I need another tripod. That's $150. This icicle mic, the one that I'm talking on now, I need another one though. So when family like Keenan Booker, the God 720, the Minister of Information, whoever it may be on the platform, can actually have their own mic when they come to the place. Last but not least, family, I want to let the family know y'all gonna have to really support me on this birthday. Do not let me go down without something. I want these hats. I want to start selling hats. So for my birthday, I don't want no bullshit where, I get girls dancing titties out and everything like that. I want these hats. I don't want anything carnal. I don't want anything stupid. I don't want nothing that don't amount to anything. For my birthday, I want y'all to help me get the business rights. I want these damn Gina hats. If the family is going to support me for my birthday wish list, can I get a damn Gina? I want these damn Gina hats. So with that said, that is my birthday wish list. I think that comes up to, I think I got the number somewhere, $2,335. I want more than this. I can't think of the other stuff, but for now, that's what I want. So it's about $2,300 for my birthday. I think that can happen. It's not too much to ask for. So with that said, I will let the family do what they do. You can definitely cash at me at #CrumbTV, or you can just hit me up 678-984-4283, 678-984-4283. Please text me, family. Do not blow my phone up. White Jesus, please don't do that. All right, so with that said, family, I want to introduce my good brother, the God 720, Keenan Booker. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
What's good with your family? How you doing?
All is well. All is well, brother. I want to thank you for coming on the platform. And before I even attempt to try to tell the people who you are, where they can find you at, can you do us all the honor and let us know who is in the building?
Yeah. My name is Keenan Booker. You can go to KeenanBooker.com for my books. You can go to thegod720.com for my music. Today, you need to go to kickoutofheaven.com, which is the website where you can buy these books directly. This is volume 2. And this is funny. I grabbed this one because in order for you to fully comprehend the status of the uterus being alien, you got to go through a lot of witchcraft. You got to understand some in-depth dynamics of female history, basically.
You know, I have right here Kicked Out of Heaven 3. And even in this one, there's a lot of female history in here, brother. You know, you are a historian, a connoisseur of the uterus, brother. What is going on with you and these women? I'm just joking on the connoisseur
part. You gonna hit me with the Call of Duty RPG, brother? That's what you want to do today? Okay. No, but for real, I love women. You know, I'm not gonna lie about it. You know, I love women head to toe, all races, sizes. You know, I talk to women. I understand the dynamic. I understand the mind. I've delved into some deep places when it comes to, you know, female experience and you know, a lot of the things that they've been through. You know what I'm saying? So all of those experiences added up to research, and then it added up to my allowance to come in to understand the medieval times, and also to understand the Marys, the Madonnas, and things of that nature. And it's really funny because like I was knighted basically to in that information during the course of the writing of the volume 3. I was, you know, I was with a European woman, you know, and then I mean it was a lot. I live my literature, you know, so everything that you see and feel is very real, you know, and in order for you to comprehend the whole status of the uterus being an alien, which is really some information I probably shouldn't have brought out, but it was so astounding. And then it just kept slipping out during the course of interviews, yours included. And it is going to be the 3-volume series, the basis of the next 3-volume series I'm writing, and which is all about women. Okay. And that information is in order for you to comprehend it and not go insane or to go into any self-infliction of neglect towards women or to objectify women in some type of weird classification in your mind, you should be through some rights with some women. I've taken care of women. I've clothed women. I've fed women. I've taught them how to cook. I've bathed them. I've bathed women in silver and made them speak poems to the moon, full moon. You know, I've done a lot of stuff, bro. So, you know, I've delivered a child, you know, I've done a lot of stuff up and down, left and right. I've made dishes, you know, I know how to do that. I know what herbs and all of that is in sync with cleaning out the vagina. So, you know, I've done a lot of stuff that allows me to receive this information and be able for it to be stable in my brain and still not have any outward or crazy look towards women, you see. Because
Absolutely.
that's basically right. Because that's basically, now that we're going in it, let me just say that before we go on. The uterus is plaguing the woman at the same time. So you have to understand that the woman is actually like a jail for the uterus alien.
Now, before we get too deep into this, I want to let the family know this is a rated R live stream. There is, restricted language, strong sexuality, and explicit nudity in here. So please be mindful of that. If we have any underlings in the room, I don't know what we call the babies. Anyway,
A suckling.
Right, it's definitely probably not underlings. Yeah, but with that said, brother, okay, now that we've got that out of the way, you came on last time and you said that the uterus is an alien, and it sounded good. I kind of just like, oh, okay, and then I went on your Facebook page. Yeah, so I had went on your Facebook page and I found this picture right here in the middle, and it caught me off guard. It really caught me off guard because I could see what you were saying. So
turn it upside down for me. Turn it upside down for me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, turn it upside down.
Let me see.
Now we're looking at it in right condition. You see that? Those fingers is where the ass cheeks are at. Okay? That tail that's going up is the spinal cord. And the end of the tail may be the tongue.
I wanted the family, if they see, because this was like the baby thing from the movie Aliens, and in the movie Aliens, the baby would lock on to your face and do some things, and this is how the infection aliens things had got started in the movie. And when I saw this on your page, I instantly recognized it from the movie Aliens with Sigourney Weaver, and I just never saw the inside of it. So I wanted to ask the family, if you have seen Aliens and you remember this thing right here, can you please press 1 for me? If you have seen the movie Aliens and you remember this thing that wrapped around her face, I got a little thing right here on the side from the actual movie. Let me just bring this to the front. Can you please press 1? Because I remember it. I've seen it myself, but it didn't really, I didn't have my aha moment until I went on your page on Facebook. I think it was the Keenan Booker page. But nonetheless,
yeah, anybody can go to my Keenan Booker page on Facebook and add me. It's not a problem. Yeah, bro, that's what you're looking at. There's a lot of other things to it that's going on here. Our whole astrological map is actually designed after that, the process from Virgo all the way to Leo. There's a lot of different layers, bro. It's a social being that works through invisibility, and the human brain is, its enemy. Okay, so what do I mean? I mean, it works off a nerve impulse, and the nerves impulses that are inside the females heighten them towards, let's say, a 10-step advance when it comes to socialism. And socialism is nothing but simple communication. So that's why she's been able to hide for as long as she's been able to hide on this planet, is because of communication. You've been told, that lizards were aliens, or you were told that this is the cross, and You know, when you look at the uterus from the anatomy that our modern medical tells us, the uterus is definitely shaped in a format that is directly symbolic and seen in the cross, the ankh, anything that has said arms out. Okay. Also, what you saw in Matrix, the scene where the girl goes up with the bat, you know, and she does the kick. That's also the same thing of the eggs being in the hands. Okay. Now,
Well,
go ahead.
I had a little bit more for you because you had also. Now I got this from out of the book. Let me just really quickly show the family this, brother. Yeah, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm the master student. I'm the master student. Y'all be giving me these books. I read the books, family. When you give me the book, I will read the book. Don't play with me. I will read. So I'm reading the book, and I found this, and I wanted you to kind of speak. Could you read this, and then can you talk about it, please?
Yeah, anus, ana, anum. Okay, adjective definitions: old of female persons and things. A old female is an anus, an ass. Okay, you gotta watch out with this. All right, when you go deep into the linguistic structure of English language, you will see clearly that at least maybe 30 to 40% of the words are all based off of ass and shit. Okay, and different words. Okay, so that bounce back to that. And you have to also understand that there's different time periods and different groups that utilize some of these same words in their own little social form amongst their minor group, which still is applicable to the definition because of time, you see. So when it comes to that word anus, and you saw right next to it ana, anal, same thing. Ana is basically what you're saying. Or nana, you say nana. And anus is the old female because she's a nitpicker, you know. Nitpicking is basically making a sweater or knitting with the needle. You see, that's nitpicking. That was also considered to be petty or nagging. Nagging, a small horse or a horse that wasn't physically fit, that would make noise, and then make noise that was incomprehensible to other horses than the horse keeper. So, you know, same with the old woman that's running off at her mouth would be called a nag, or this is also where hag came from. You know, hag is a little bit different because hag is equivalent to hex. Hex is 720 degrees, and the hex is also the honeycomb shape. It's a long thing, but the hex is the main word for magic. Anus. Go ahead.
Anus is an old woman from the name Anna. You were going through because you know I think you showed the family initially volume 2. I showed the family volume 3. Of course, there's a volume 1. You was talking about volume 4 and how you were going to go and keep in with the woman theme, and you were going to go into the names. I saw this name Anna, which relates to anus, which is an old woman. What were the other names that you were, you know, you just
there's a lot of names, bro, that and it's funny because the evidence of female names and the power and the goddesses that are inside their names is shown, exhibited with our parents. When we were children, they would always say Mr. and Mrs. last name, or Mr. first name of the male, and then Mr. and Mrs. first name of the male, and then the last name of the female. They wouldn't really give a lot of credence to the female's first name. A lot of American female first names are filled with goddesses. Goddesses, you got saints in some of them. Their definitions, like the name Valerie, is defined as to be revolutionary and to be combative and to always battle. You know, the name Cassie is a name that means to excel over men. Okay, so you have the word Heather. The word Heather is a feather. Is a flower. Erica is a form of flower. The word Jessica is a genus of spiders. And all of these names, all of these girls' names, they're not only charged with gods and goddesses, they're charged with different plants, they're charged with different forms of animals, they're charged with different songs. There's a lot of songs that support female names. And this is all inclusion to the power that they represent when they walk out the house every single day. And that's also inclusion of their vocal structure power. So their voice and making you kneel to the voice is a part of the whole element of what I'm talking about. You know, and one word I wanted to slip in that is similar to Anna and also similar to the female structure of dominance is fun. The word fun actually comes from the word fundament. And the word fundament is your ass. You know, so when they told you education was fundamental, it means it was your posterior. You know what I'm saying? Posterior means ass. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it goes on and on and on and on and on. It's long, bro. If I was to actually sit down and put a show towards this, I could show you a lot of words that mean actually backward side of what you think they mean. And this is why I'm very serious on a woman's mouth and negative comments or joking and all that type of stuff with a female's mouth is very, very important and serious. And that's the majority reason. That's the main reason why the majority of black males don't got entrepreneurship rolling, or males in period, males overall. Okay, because this is a gender issue. So there's really no racism, race line included, but it can be, you know. But overall, males across the board don't understand this science. And, you know, Lucy is Lucifer. You know, there's a whole bunch of different names. Cynthia is a death goddess from Turkey, CYN. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. You don't even know what you're dealing with inside your own home. And you've been fighting with this girl for 20 years because of the energy embedded in her name.
Ooh. And now, when I was reading the book, volume 3, you know, I had to fact check you, and it was a lot of stuff to read. There was a lot of stuff to fact check. It was a very long, detailed story. You really did a lot of scholarly work with this one. So with this said, because I've done my due diligence in terms of the vagina as well, and for whatever reason, I missed this one. The clitoris is the only organ in the human body with just one purpose. Please, brother.
Genius. Okay. This right here allows the theory that this being, okay, which we will call newt, which is the root word to new, neurology, nervous, all of that. You see that? So this is newt, N-E-W-T. So I was written in ancient Egypt. Gives us the theory that this is the missing link in between all of the different animal species on the planet when it comes to the Darwin's theory. You see, because all these beings have the same clitoris. All females on the planet have the same clitoris, and the only definition for it is for pleasure. You know, so through that mark and through what we see with ancient goddesses like a star, or go ahead.
You said all these have what? I didn't catch that last thing you said. I'm sorry.
All mammals have the same clitoris.
Oh, okay,
Right.
If I could move forward just a little bit more, because I want to read this article. The original word for virgin. What is the original meaning of the term virgin? Virgin meant not married, not belonging to a man, a woman who was one in herself. The very word derives from the Latin root meaning strength, force, skill, and was later applied to men in the term virile. Ishtar, Diana, Astarte, and Isis were all considered virgin, which did not refer to sexual chastity, but sexual independence. When we're looking at this uterus, we're going to see a lot of different aspects to it. Last one I wanted to read was this. Once I read this, we're going to go into this article, and I'm going to put you in a hot seat if that's okay with you.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, Right now?
No. I'm gonna read this. Then I'm gonna go to this article and put you in the hot seat.
Let's do it.
International Business Times: Colombian woman who put potato in vagina for contraceptive hospitalized after it grew roots. And it was actually her mother who told her that this was the contraceptive, to put a potato in the vagina for apparently long enough for it to take root, which would sound hysterical. Does that, is that a play on words because we're dealing with the uterus and it sounds hysterical?
What did I tell you in the beginning? The uterus plagues the woman's mind. Didn't I tell you that?
You did tell me that, yes.
It is a separate being. So let's look at it. So sexually, if you don't pulverize a woman's vagina sexually, she looks at you as what? An inferior, right? She looks at you as weak because you did not pulverize the being that is traumatizing her mind about her self-esteem and her beauty every day. So the element of women having to pull them, putting on mini skirts and having to pull them down, or running to the, standing in the mirror for 2-3 hours, or thinking they need breast implants or butt implants or the like, is all coming from the blindness and the darkness that the uterus lives in. You see?
Wow.
You felt that.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah, the history of hysteria. See, now let me say something else real quick, because this connects in with what you just put up there about Diana. Diana is the ancient Greek goddess of witches. Okay, and then she has another name, Hecate. Hecate is the root word to the word Karen. Remember, we was doing the Karen thing. Karen is Karen, caring. You see, soon as we did all the Karen stuff and did all of that on the social media, the white woman no longer cares. That was the only woman that was out here really caring about shit and getting shit done, forcing shit down the feed. But go ahead, because to be honest, the books that I'm explaining to you, or where I've gotten a lot of this information, were written by white women. Even the books for the medieval is all white women. So the majority of them. Go ahead.
So this comes from McGill, Office for Science and Society, separating sense from nonsense. So this is the history of hysteria. Until 1980, hysteria was a formally studied psychological disorder that could be found in the American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Before its classification as a mental disorder, hysteria was considered a physical ailment, first described medically in 1880 by John Martin Cherrett. Even before this, hysteria was thoroughly described in ancient Egyptian and Greek societies. But what really was hysteria? Today, when someone is hysterical, we mean that they are frenzied, frantic, or out of control. Until 1980, however, hysteria was a formally studied psychological disorder that could be found in American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Before its classification as a mental disorder, hysteria was considered a physical ailment. First ascribed medically in 1880 by John Martin Cherrett. Even before this, hysteria was thoroughly described in ancient Egypt and Greek societies. So what was hysteria? How did it just go away? Why was it a major point of connection for second wave feminists, and how was it treated? Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Throughout history, hysteria has been a sex selective disorder affecting only those with a uterus. These uteri were often thought to be the basis of a variety of health problems. The ancient Egyptians and Greeks, for example, believed wombs capable of affecting the rest of the body's health. Now, let me just put this up here, and I want to see how common are hysterectomies.
I have never done that.
I'm sorry, please. Done what?
Ask that question. How how common are hysterectomies in our modern day? The most common surgery in women is childbirth by cesarean delivery. 6-7. Okay.
Now, the reason I have posted this up, brother, is because before I did CrumbTV, or actually while I was doing CrumbTV, I was working in a hospital. I've done lots of videos of my disdain, my loathing with the hospital.
Okay.
So, the number one place in the hospital where all the money gets drained out is the emergency room, because they're operating by law. You don't have to have insurance. You can just go in there and get seen. That's something that's really hurting the hospital in terms of its pockets, because the hospital's is not a 501c3. They're a business, no different from McDonald's. So now the number one place that is lucrative in the hospital, where the hospital gets all its money from, surgeries.
Yeah.
Particularly same-day surgeries, outpatient surgeries. The number one outpatient surgery, hysterectomies. When I was in the hospital, on any given day, we're going to get 5 women who are getting a hysterectomy any given day.
Hold on. You're talking about like they just walked in there to get it right then, right now?
No, it's been scheduled, but
okay.
This is the number one scheduled outpatient surgery.
Because it plagues the mind. I'm telling you, this is what happens. We have a society that has told us that beauty is the number one thing. Beauty is synonymous to money. It can be used as such. Men are to chase after the women. Women have trained themselves over time to confuse the male's understanding of when they ovulate. So we will never know when they are truly in the space of hunting for a man or not, because we have a financial situation that we rely on that sort of disturbs original male and female communication. You see what I'm saying? So by the time they get 30 or 35 or 40, and they don't have kids running around the house, and they don't have nobody loving on them, and they've decided, oh, ain't nobody gonna treat me how I want to be treated, so I might as well shut this thing down. That's when everything that you just read shows up. And the breast cancers, the ovarian cancers, the all other forms of cancers that are repetitive and showing up in ladies nowadays, headaches, ulcers, tumors, cysts, all of that is coming, supposedly, as they would say in ancient Egypt and Greece, it was coming from the uterus moving around inside the body. Now, I necessarily don't think that the uterus is moving. It could be by inches. And this is why I say that, because there are cases where without a hysterectomy, a vagina can fall out of a woman. Okay.
Well, may I continue? Because I think you're getting ahead just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So in ancient Greece specifically, it was believed that the uterus could migrate around the female body.
My research is thorough.
Placing pressure on other organs and causing other number of ill effects. This roaming uteri theory, supported by works from the philosopher Plato and the physician Aetius, was called hysterectical suffocation.
Yeah.
And the offending uterus was usually coaxed back into place by placing good smells near the vagina, bad smells near the mouth, and of all things, sneezing. The philosopher.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just read this last sentence.
Yeah.
The philosopher and physician Galen, however, disagreed with the roving uterus theory, believing instead that the retention of female seed within the womb was to blame for the anxiety, insomnia, depression, irritability, fainting, and other symptoms women experience. Through these classical texts, pretty much any symptom could be attributed to the female sex organ, from fevers to kleptomania?
All right,
Kleptomania
kleptomania. Hey, watch this. When you go to Walmart, you can't tell me that female section over there don't look like fucking Fort Knox.
Yo, can I get a damn Gina? Hold on, all caps. Damn Gina. Damn Gina. No. Okay.
Yo, this is the truth. Yeah, bro, that's the meat of it. The hysterical suffocation or the hysterical laughing, hysterical, when girls are horny or having sex, they start giggling about stuff. The suffocation is related to the python that you feel in your gut when you may have cheated on your girl or you did something out of position that you weren't supposed to do. It's a genetic pool, which comes from a chemical inside women called copulin, which is related to the word copulate. And also the word wandering. The word wandering is the definition to the name Wendy. So yeah, if you get a girl named Wendy, you best believe she's going to be moving around with those feet, because it's already embedded in her name to be a wanderer. Now, calling the uterus a wanderer goes back several civilizations, as we just stated. But it moving around inside the body, I don't think that's necessarily what they're talking about. What's really going on is the power that the uterus has over the nervous system. And due to the fact that all organs in the body are connected to said organ system, this uteri can basically send signals to whatever organ and dissemble it from that position and in that light. Now, they wouldn't place good smells or bad smells around the mouth in order to move the uterus down. They actually put bad smells on the stomach to move the uterus back down. And they said the uterus would move back down, back into its place, and this would, and sometimes to attract it to pull down from going up too much, they would put sweet smelling smells underneath her. And in order to make the womb go back up from the bottom, they would put stink smells underneath her, and it would run away. So basically, in older age, as anything with age is going to basically rot over time. If the woman doesn't continuously use her vagina as the vagina demands it to be used, it will rot at an exponential rate, and the stench will grow greater in age. Go ahead.
Well, I think you're getting ahead of me again.
Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, because the uterus demands that the whole system be used, and this is this form of atrophy. If things aren't used, they die.
Mm-hmm.
So, other writers and physicians at the time blamed the retention of menstrual blood for female problems. Either way, the obvious solution was to purge the offending fluid. Oh, did I press the wrong button? I did. Sorry about that, family. Give me just 2 seconds.
I think we were on that same article.
I had my mouse got this extra button on it. Either way, the obvious solution was to purge the offending fluid. So marriage and its implied regular sexual intercourse was the general recommendation. Male semen was also believed to have healing properties. So sex served two purposes. For the young and unmarried women, widows, nuns, and married women unable to achieve orgasms via the strictly penetrative heterosexual sex that was common at the time, midwives, here we go, midwives were occasionally employed to manually stimulate the genitalia and release the offending fluids. So we're seeing a lot of different scopes to where at essence, if you don't use it, you lose it. If it doesn't get used, it's going to give you some type of issues.
Yeah. But see, due to the social paradigm that we live in as humans, there's going to be even more problems if she uses it all the time because of the way we culturally understand things, you see. So humans have this false sense of ownership that we want to throw over each other because we did the booty, you see. And then the woman has also been taught that she can use the uterus as a baiting device, which has basically been the position of worship and the position of, I guess, goddess invisibility since the beginning of time. Men have always, done the most to take care and try to get whatever a woman wants, whether he's capable to have any sex with her or not, or whether he's able to woo it out of her. You see? So regardless, she can play all these games that she wants to. She's going to damage herself by the retention of the sexual fluids, which will, in essence, turn her insane. And this is for both male and female. But what happens with male, with the retention of sperm, is that they get more inventive and they can build more. They get more things accomplished and achieved. Women don't have a mind frame of achievement and accomplished by majority rule. And even if they do, they're doing it underneath the guise of a male's leadership. You see what I'm saying? So when women may retain this fluid, and you have to understand this, the principles on both male and female, it is liquid life. Liquid light. It is life. It is the fluid of life. So that means there's a lot of energy in it. So when women don't have sex, they're charging their battery all day long. So then they get to a point where they're like, and then stuff starts laying over and laying over and laying over and laying over. And then before you know it, they're cat ladies. They got 20 dogs in their house. They've joined 8 groups at the church. They're hard on a lot of gossip. Yeah, bro, you got to watch this stuff. So then they've
joined 8 groups at the church.
Yeah, because you have to understand. Now, let me show you something about that. Because the 8 groups of church leans into a whole nother realm of the female thinking, which is that's taking care of vagabonds and feeling the essence of being needed by having somebody degenerate or a bum around you at all times, or having some child around you because you feel as if you're not important in any other areas pertaining to society. So this is another area where the bat mind goes loose and crazy, and that could be a throwback to the time periods of when the human design was being built by the uteri, when it was on the planet by itself, which predates human existence. There was nothing but filth on the planet. There was nothing but feces, baby blood, baby parts, and all other types of nasty nonsense. And the uteri lived in those conditions for eons in order to develop humans. So women have no problem with living in squalid, nasty conditions like that today. And I'm not saying that about all of them, but we do know the difference between a male and a female public bathroom. Okay, we've all seen that.
Whoa.
Let's talk about Kicked Out of Heaven Volume 1. There's a long poem that describes the female bathroom or toiletry room.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to be petty or nothing like that, and I don't want to
be petty.
Yeah, but we got to talk about this because I was getting ready to say let's move on for the sake of time with the article. I want to read a little bit more, but I think this is worth a little bit of a hiatus. Can you elaborate a little bit on the difference between a male and a female public restroom?
Oh well, okay, well, like I said, I've been through a lot of rights in order to comprehend this info. So I do have a time period in my life where I was stumping the cane and walking with the hard bottom. Do you understand? Go ahead.
Let me see if I can poll the audience. We got about 100 people watching. For the women, can you tell us what your opinion of the women's public restroom? And I didn't really think about it until you just brought it up. But I remember one time I was at work and this one girl, she was appalled at the situation in the women's bathroom, and she got fired or wrote up or reprimanded, chastised in some type of way because she put it on the internet. And for whatever reason, which was cockamamie, she tagged the business that we worked for and said, this is how y'all had a bathroom, yada yada yada. The sisters are chiming in now in terms of we're talking about the public restroom, because and my heart goes out to our women because I can't comprehend it. If as a man I miss, I'm dealing with a little degree of target practice here. She's, like for me, I'm gonna have to from a far way off. She's right there. How is she missing? What is she doing that I don't know. Let's not go too deep into that.
No. Let's speak this line, because you're talking on a line that's sort of hard to really step on. So I know what you're leaning on. Let's go there. This is the reason African tribes traded women for cows. Okay? Because we don't know who's talking out of the woman's mouth. Is it the alien or is it the woman? We don't know. So therefore, just close the mouth and trade them for cows. We're not even going to try to figure it out, because you'll never be able to figure it out.
All right, so let's move forward. Because, the family chimed in. I got the information I wanted. It was a little rhetorical because we already knew. A 1637 text explains that when sexual fluids are not regularly released, the heart and surrounding areas are enveloped in a morbid and moist exudation, and that any lascivious females inclined to venery simply had a buildup of these fluids. I slaughtered these words. My apologies, family. It's obviously laughable to think that doctors believed everything wrong with the woman could be attributed to the liquid levels, but contrarily, it is interesting how close doctors got to the truth in their belief that the extreme sexual desire was caused by a lack of regular orgasm. Let me just read a little bit more, and then we can build on this. This paragraph right here, I just want to chop this out. It was John Martin Charcot in 1880 France who first took modern scientific sense to the female-only disease of hysteria. He lectured to his medical students, showing them photos and live subjects on the hysteria symptoms he believed were caused by an unknown internal injury affecting the nervous system. As you said, it's not that the womb is wandering, but the womb is connected to the nervous system, which connects it to all the other organs, which it can adversely affect. One of these medical students was none other than Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysts. Mm-hmm. Freud, working with his partner Breuer in Austria, developed Charcot's theories further and wrote several studies on female hysteria from 1880 to 1915. He believed that hysteria was a result, not a physical injury in the body, but a psychological scar produced through trauma or repression. Now, before I finish this, I want to poll the listening audience one more time, and for those who might catch this later. If you or a woman is repressed, sexually repressed, she might be in a whole relationship and got children, and she's still sexually repressed. Can you please press 1? If you know a woman, I don't care if she's all the single ladies, I don't care if she's a single lady or she's a freak, meaning she might be selling butt, but she's still sexually suppressed. She's not a sexually liberated woman. If you know a woman like that, and here, let me lead this parade. I've heard lots of women say, he'll orgasm before she does, or, women will be more hard pressed to orgasm more so than a man, or climax or ejaculate or what have you. Please, brother, can tell me, weigh in. What are your thoughts?
I know it. I've seen it in several different cases. If a woman is not getting, but she has all these demands, about how she wants things and and if you don't do it like this, see, the big thing with the female picture, like I stated on plenty of other videos before, is they can't reach the Z point. So what ends up happening is that they always have something that they desire, and then when you get into halfway of showing her what she asked for, she doesn't want it. And this is a common practice thing. So basically, the main reason a lot of women shut down sexually is because they feel as if they're not being courted or worshipped in whatever format they feel as if they need to be. And they're damaging their own health in order to do that. They don't care. The only thing they care about is the format of worship that they're demanding. You see?
Let me just add value, because I had no clue. You and I didn't read this article to you, brother, prior. I didn't let you get this information prior to us going live. So if anybody's like, oh, well, he was on it because they talked about it prior. No, we didn't. I didn't talk to him prior about this. So for him hitting on these cylinders, that's just because the brother's on it. So now, based off what he just said, when we're dealing with women in terms of God, God is a German word. The ancestors use the word deity. Deity goes back to the word diva. Diva goes to idol worship, worshiping an idol god who, because the gods only exist when you worship them. So now when we're dealing with these deities, they have a need for attention. And this is a female attribute. The girls will do it for the gram. She'll do it for the Vine. She'll do it for 1,000 likes. Not all women, but the ones, everybody wants attention. I don't want to make that. I like attention, but nonetheless, when you're talking to these things, it has roots in the word diva, deification, giving this woman, the attention. And when she gets the attention, it's a funny thing to deal with. I saw this meme, and I'm gonna pass the mic back as soon as I get this off my chest. I saw the meme, and it was just like just cartoons or whatever. So the man and the woman are going out for dinner, and the man says to the woman, he says, "What do you want?" She says, "I don't care." And for him, it's 1 + 1. He turns into the first place he sees. And let's say it's Outback Steakhouse. No, not this. But I thought you said I don't care. Anything but Outback Steakhouse. They drive down. They get to the,
Keep going. I'm listening, B.
Vegan gold. I don't want vegan gold. Well, what do you want? I don't know what I want. It doesn't matter what I don't care. Just not that. So it turns out that it's not that she doesn't want, I don't care what I want. That's not the truth. She definitely wants whatever, but her process of getting to that may be a little bit hysterical.
Yeah, exactly. Hysterical history. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all complex, all batted everywhere, all chopped up. We don't know what is what anymore. But yeah, that's definitely the lost point. Now, the important thing about the article that you're reading is that he said 1635 they were conquering these sciences. Brother, it is 2020 on my clock. How about yours? Okay. Yeah. 1635 they were conquering this level of math. The caveman, remember, this is when y'all called a caveman. He's understanding nervous system in 1635. We don't got scholars that's breaking that down to us right now.
In terms of history, brother, can you speak to this? Because you and I are going to do something on the justice system. Miss Mom, right. And I love that name, very, very appropriate for this one. Miss Mom says, didn't they have doctors who got women off with hysteria, crimes of passion? Can you talk about that?
Crimes of passion got women off with hysteria. No, in those times they just classified you as a witch, and that sort of that came in at around the 1400s and things of that nature. Before that, in Greece, they would try to medically cure you. Even in Rome, there was a lot of strict rules pertaining to women and wine. For instance, they weren't allowed to drink a lot of liquor. But then during the medieval times, you can see that a lot of girls were, later in the 1700s, girls were allowed to drink, but they weren't allowed to be in public status, in high drunk status, or high aggressive prostitution status. You see what I'm saying? So getting a woman off with hysteria as a crime of passion would definitely be something modern. Okay. And I only know about the crimes of passion being a law that's permissible in the state of Texas. I've never heard of a case where hysteria has been used for the cover up of a murder or the use of a murder, because a crime of passion, as is stated by the FBI, is something that any stabbing is considered a crime of passion in the FBI. The state of Texas law is if you come home and your mate is mating with somebody else, you can kill them right there immediately. It can't be premeditated. You can't go to another room and grab your arm. You got to pull your arm off your belt and handle them right there, and you'll be able to walk. So I've never heard of a situation where hysteria was actually used. Nowadays, all of these things have been swept underneath the rug. So you're looking at a lot of hysteria cases when you go to the grocery store. You're looking at a lot of hysteria when, you know, you drive downtown, you drive past the Greyhound, those women right there, that's hysteria, you know, crack addicts, crystal meth. Yeah, a lot of that stuff, man. A lot. Like I said, if the main, and then you also have dementia. There's also other psychological things that come upon. You know, you got menopause, you got what is it? Midlife crisis type of events and things like that. And all of those are different. So when it comes to hysteria, as the article was stating, that it's coming from the offending fluids. Now, when I say offending, you have to understand how Europeans use words. So when I say the offending fluids, you probably think, and the audience probably think that the fluid, that they're stating it, that the fluids are of some nasty filth. No, that is not how they're using the word offending. They're using the word offending as in the fact that it's projecting from the vagina. Exactly. Because when you're in offense in basketball, you throw the ball to your partner, right? Or you throw the ball at the hoop, right?
Oh, you teaching.
You see? So that, see, you see that? We don't even understand how they use words yet. You see? So that's why this kicked out of heaven is top notch. And to be honest, you know, even when they were talking about the hysterical suffocation, that is the relation to the python. That's in the relation to the guts, to the stomach, the chitterlings, the moving around, and the gut wrenching when you know, cheated on your girl or you did something foul that you shouldn't have to do. You know, all of that explanation is in there. And I reiterate that because the witchcraft section in here is very, very heavy. And you need to go through that dark side of the witch to understand the white side of the witch. Because the dark side is the intro, which is, like we just stated, they'll ask for something and they don't know what the end conclusion is going to be, the Z point. And that Z point is actually the diamond that you're going to create from her hysteria. You see? So her screeching on the broom or her screaming at you in the house, in essence, is going to make you create in the end. You see?
Right.
So it's supposed to be a peanut butter jelly thing. You see? So I understand and comprehend that. Therefore, it doesn't affect me when they say, oh, it's an alien. Because the alien, by default, if you want to ask me what the true definition is, the alien is trying to get back to outer space. Basically. That's all that you see right now is going down.
Let me see, can I just read a couple more paragraphs? Specifically, this psychological damage was a result of removing male sexuality from females, an idea that stems from Freud's famous epitomal moment of recognition, in which a young female realizes she has no penis and has been castrated. If this isn't hysterical, I don't have the time to open that particular bag of worms, but if you feel like it, you can click here to read it. And it's not a very cohesive, it's a lot of rabbit holes if you click this link, which I won't do. In essence, Freud believed that women experience hysteria because they were unable to reconcile the loss of their metaphoric penis with this in mind, or their sexuality giving them the ease to have a ejaculation like men do. With this in mind, Freud described hysteria as characteristically feminine, and recommended basically what every other man treating hysteria had through the years: get married and have sex. You know, and one thing I do notice, and I want the men, if they could chime in, if women, let me just ask the men, if you notice that women are nicer or more pleasant or better psychologically after they have sex, can you please press one? And I'm gonna press one. I'm gonna press one. I gotta be honest. I mean, I'm not even trying to do. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing like that. I'm not. I'm here. Let me press one. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not.
Press one for me, brother. Press one for me. Okay.
It seemed like women be acting better. Like,
yeah, bro. If you know how to lay some pipe, okay, then you have heard this many a times. Thank you. Okay. I have heard thank you from a woman after sex a millionfold, and I get it now, because basically what's happening is that fluid loads up in the back of the brain, bro. I have seen squirting, this squirting thing, this ejaculation thing, which just started happening. It wasn't going down in the 90s. I don't care what nobody's saying. No, women in the 90s is not squirting. This is some new thing that's going on, okay? Let's be for real. This is some new thing that's going on. So now, you know, they squirt, bro. I've watched a woman squirt a whole bucket. I've watched a woman squirt so much fluid that her body should have been fully dehydrated from as much fluid came out of her.
wow.
That was not the case, right? I'm telling you, there is some mystical, magical doorway or something that is connected through that spine or something. The fluid is not coming, all of that fluid is not coming out of the human body, bro. It's coming through the human body. That's all I can say. I know that may sound crazy, but you know, that's the theory I can put to it, because I've seen far too much fluid come out of a woman's body, bro. I'm with my own eyes. You know, I don't want to get descriptive and whatnot, but Lord have mercy, I have seen it happen. So I don't know what that is. I've seen it happen so much, you might as well call it a defense mechanism, you know? And the projection power too. Rip your skin off, damn near. Water hose power, you know? Like, I've seen it on that level. So, you know, I don't know what to tell anybody. If we're dealing with an alien, then that's what it is. I have no problem with that. You know, it makes things a little bit more intense to me. I like to clown about it. I like because women will talk to you about it. They will clown with you on it. They will talk to you about it. You know, I mean, I'm in a different mental space, and women are there too. Just the whole thing is that a lot of Native women don't like their Native men to be expansive in mental space and freedom and socialism because they have fear of losing them. You know,
Indeed.
And that's justifiable, but then in essence, you're killing yourself. But like we just stated, a woman is more worried about her demands than worried about making sure her health is right and making sure the maintenance of her love is right, and also making sure that she got a motherfucker running back up in here, get these groceries in the refrigerator and get this motherfucker, get these gutters clean, nigga, cut my grass. You know,
Right. Let me see.
Huh?
Let me see. Can I'll move forward a little bit.
Go ahead.
Previously, this was done to allow the ridding of sexual liquids, whereas now the idea was that a woman could regain her lost penis by marrying one and potentially giving birth to one. If marriage wasn't an acceptable or possible treatment, however, there was another technique of treatment for hysteria: prolapsed uteri, and any genealogical problem really rising in popularity in the late 17th century, uterine massage.
Nah. You know what they're really, you know what they're indirectly referring to, right?
No.
Fisting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because
fisting.
You see what? Once you read The Kicked Out of Heaven, you will understand their language. You don't know how they talk, so you don't know what they're saying when they're. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that specifically to you. I'm just saying overall. You know.
No, I saw fisting in the book. I saw that. You know, so I know that this isn't personal between me and you. You actually, you know, you weren't shy at all in this book, even though you kept it 100% scholarly. You know, you definitely tackled a lot of taboo topics, to say the least.
Yeah, there's a couple of them in there. You know, I put my own liaisons in there. You know, I had commencement with the Polish woman. She's in there. I had commencement with the Black Madonna, and that's in there. You know, and it was powerful energies and situations that I walked into that I was demanded to handle. And if I did not, you know, wrestle the beast, then, you know, you would not be getting what you got today. And that's just a part of it. You know, you have to, and like I said earlier, you know, women are plagued by this uterus, so they desire high level punishment when it comes to her acts from submitting to said uterus and carrying out annoying acts in the house, which may be classified as pettiness and other things, or the torture the uterus puts down on her own mind when it comes to her self-esteem and her everyday day-to-day operations. And she wants the uteri to be punished for that. So that's where all of the crazy beat down, and she went 3-4 hours and pay all this attention to me and this and that and this and that and this and that. And then the alien by itself may be very ugly, and they're hidden in a very beautiful body. So they demand and expect a lot of attention, especially if it's ugly. You know?
Well, let me continue on, because I think you might be onto something. Invented by a Swedish army major named whoever, and though initially used to treat conditions in soldiers, an army major, soldiers with what? Prolapsed anuses. I'm not going to pull up a picture of this. The family's going to have to do their own research on that, but this started with men. Uterine massage quickly became the norm for treating everything in women, from tilted uteri, which somebody had mentioned in this live, shout out to them, whoever that was, to nymphomania, when she is a
sex addict.
A sex addict, thank you. Okay. So the Army major opened several clinics, all of which were remarkably successful. He employed 5 med students, 10 female physician therapists, and had doctors from across the globe participating at his clinic. I bet I'd want to work there. You get to massage the yoni, you keep playing with me. Anyway, which were known to treat as many as 117 patients in one day. Most recommended techniques were bimanual, meaning one hand was placed outside the body of the admin and the other inserted either in the vagina or the anus to perform the massage. So, brother, when you say fisting, I don't want the family to think you're being funny. In addition to that, I did not read this article to you prior to us going live. So for you to be saying these things prior to me reading it is only confirmation in your vast scope of knowledge dealing with the yoni. All right. Until a paroxysmal convulsion, we now call these orgasms, was achieved. These sessions were considered long and physically exhausting. These sessions were considered long and physically exhausting for doctors for obvious reasons. This problem led to the creation of stimulation devices, namely vibrators. You can see some early vibrators by clicking here. I'm not going to click there for obvious reasons. Let me just read one more and then I'll pass the mic. Mm-hmm. At least officially, the sexual nature of these treatments was not realized, or at least acknowledged. While it's hard to not see these procedures as primarily sexual process, when looking back, doctors at the time feared it becoming conflated with sex. So much so that advocated hurting female patients, or at least causing them discomfort. It still baffles me how many doctors could purposely and unnecessarily hurt patients, but this is just another example of many unethical medical processes women have been subject to. I don't know if this was something that they were subject to or they were volunteering for. After about 1910, gynecological massage fell into the category of alternative medicine, which the husband was responsible for, I assume. And while I'm sure you can still find someone practicing it today, advancement in medical knowledge and feminist movements have led to the understandings that the uterus is not at the heart of most medical problems, and that many of the symptoms previously attributed to hysteria truly belong in mental illness. But what if this hysteria is the anyway, or just normal, if unaccepted to historic societies behaviors for female? I just got one more paragraph. I feel like I just want to finish it. Do you mind?
Go ahead, I'm with you.
Hysteria was basically the medical explanation for everything that men found mysterious or unmanageable in women. Very funny, guys. A conclusion only supported by men's historic and continuing dominance over medicine. Maybe so. And hysteria's continued use a synonym for over emotional. I want to point that out. A synonym for hysteria is being over emotional, or even to the point of being deranged. It's also worth noting how many of the problems physicians were attempting to fix. And did I hit the wrong button? I did. I'm sorry. Give me just 2 seconds. Continued to fix in female patients were not problems when they were presented in male patients. Gendered stereotypes, like the idea that women should be submissive, even tempered, and sexually inhibited, have caused tremendous damage throughout history and continue to do so today. I gotta mention, I find it funny that there's a such thing as a slut for a woman, but not a man. I'll continue reading. It doesn't seem so coincidental then most modern treatments for hysteria involved regular marital sex, marriage, or pregnancy and childbirth, all proper activities of a proper woman. All things considered, most doctors and women alike were glad to see hysteria deleted from the official Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders in 1980. Brother, give us your last thoughts.
I think it's still in the DS4. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. You know, the hysteria is caused by the retention of sexual secretions of the woman. It sits up in the back of the skull. It creates headaches. It creates a lot of problems. Women really don't care whether women know this information or not. We don't know, and they'll never tell us. And even if they do tell us, we still wouldn't be able to thoroughly get an answer of if they're telling the truth or not. You know, so that's why Europeans went through what they went through with the whole burning witches for 300 to 500 years. They were separating the mind state of the woman from the uterus. They made their women fall in fear to the men instead of falling in fear to the uterus. You see what I'm saying? So, and with that, they were able to take over the planet. And this is, you know, part of the reason why we don't have any growth, because we don't understand any of these principles. And, you know, just like the guy that was in the conscious movement, Natural Tahuti, was talking all the black woman is the God stuff. And where does he ended up? He ended up in prison doing life for some heroin deals. So you see, you gotta what? And Tahuti is thought. I'm thought. That's the line not to fuck with, you know. And you're gonna have to nip it in the bud. The black culture has been very effeminate. Decided to choose on effeminate things and say the black woman is God and all this other nonsense, you know. And there's no true testosterone rule. And like you see in ancient Egypt, the majority of the statues are what? Males standing with strong phalluses, right? Because that's what makes a woman kneel. A witch can't get past iron. Iron is what controls your blood. Your blood flow is what creates the erection. So in my next 3-volume series, I will be explaining all of this in large detail, and I'll be giving all the rules and regulations about erectile dysfunction. But until then, you need to go through a lot of other rights when it comes to Western understanding and when it also comes to female understanding, and you will find a lot of that here in the Kicked Out of Heaven Volume 1. I go through all the brothels and the bathhouses. Volume 2, I go through all the witches. Volume 3, I go through the Marys and the Madonnas, you know, and I've dealt with real live Marys and Madonnas. So everything you hear here is vouched for, you understand, at the highest level. So go to kickedoutofheaven.com, get all 3 volumes for $100. You get the signature and you get the torture, the origins of criminal justice system, shall I say. You get that lecture for free with it. All right. Kickedoutofheaven.com, KeenanBooker.com.
Well, there you have it. I want to thank you again, brother, for coming on the platform. It is Keenan Booker, the God 720, author of the 3-volume series Kicked Out of Heaven. I believe you and I are going to have some more things coming up.
Oh,
that's right. That's right.
Get ready. That's all
right.
I got to say.
Absolutely.
We are Chef Boyardee in it over the witch's cauldron right now. Okay.
Brother, before I let you go, could I get you to do a plug for me real quick? This is Keenan Booker, the God 720. You are now watching CrumbTV.
This is Keenan Booker, the God 720. You are now watching CrumbTV.
And with that said, family, I wanted to let you know one more time that I have been taken off of Facebook, what I like to call Racebook. I'm no longer up there. They have Farrakhan'd me and trying to take me off the internet for speaking truth to power. In addition to that, just to add injury to insult, I will not be having my Earth Day celebration. That is right. I will not be celebrating my Earth Day this year. What a very dismal thing to say, family. So I have kind of come up with an alternative. So, we want to find the brighter side and just kind of stay as positive as possible. So with that said, I have a birthday wish list. So even though you weren't able to celebrate with me, you can still help me enjoy this Scorpio season. And I want to ask the family to assist me with that by either throwing something in the bag for the birthday wish list or actually just getting the things on my wish list. So I want this this DSLR camera set up with the phone where I get the mic and the lights and little handheld gadget thing, yada yada. The mount, the only one I've seen, costs like $140, but it says Beast Grip. Anything that says Beast, I assume is trained to go. The lights is $40, but that's the only one I found. I guess it could be a better version or what have you. The mic, that's pretty much standard. That's a yard. If you don't know what that is, that's $100. There's also a lens that comes up there. I think it's like even a lens kit. It's like $100, which is pretty decent because lenses are expensive. I want this. They call it a step and fetch. No, I'm sorry. It's called a step and repeat. Step and repeat. This backdrop, I want that. This one right here is almost $200. I want a nice one like this. This thing is super dope. So, these are the things on my birthday wish list. That comes up to $178, about $200. I need a computer, family. This computer I have now, I done dropped this thing like 100 times. I need one. This thing costs a stack. If you don't know what a stack is, that's $1,000, family. So this is really going to help me step my game up. I want these shoes, family, because I don't really dress up or nothing like that, and I don't want to put on no Nikes or nothing like that. So I found these joints to be very flavorful. Somebody actually already got these for me, so I'm very excited. At least a part of my birthday I can celebrate. I broke my last tripod when I was in Chicago. I was in Chicago on Roslyn. Oh my God, looking like a damn hobo dragging a broken tripod. I'm like, I'm gonna fix it. That thing was not gonna be fixed. I don't know how I broke that thing. I want another icicle. I actually have an icicle that I'm using right now. I want it so that when I have in studio guests like the God 720 over in ATL, that's going to happen if I'm in ATL. I don't know where I'll be at, maybe Florida, who knows. Then they can come on mic and everybody can sound good. Last but not least, I want, versus you buying me hats, clothes, and showing me titties and things like that, I want you to buy me some hats. These particular, I think it's called worn or texture or stressed. These hats are called stressed, and in vibrant colors. I already have the guy who's going to do embroidery for me. I want these damn Gina hats. I know you would love for me to start selling damn Gina hats. So please help me with that. So send all your birthday donations there, or you can just call me or just text me, family. Please don't stalk me. Just text me. Just don't do nothing that's going to make me feel weird about the situation. 678-984-4283. My phone number, 678-984-4283. And I'll tell you where you can send any birthday gifts or wishes or anything that you may want to send for that day. So with that said, family, those are all the updates I have for you. I want to say thank you to my guest and to my gracious audience. I'm going to leave you the exact same way I came to you, family. In peace.